Today I'm going to be giving you an updated 2026 Klaviyo Flow tutorial that's going to show you everything you need to print for your brand on autopilot. Even if you're an absolute beginner, this tutorial is going to give you the exact step-by-steps that you need to have a successful flow setup. We're going to be going through all of the core flows that every single brand needs, from $0 all the way up to $100 million. And we're going to be diving deep into the psychology of each email so you actually understand the fundamentals of what they're trying to achieve. These are the same strategies that have helped me generate my clients millions of dollars over the last 12 months, and I'm going to be giving them away to you for free. By the end of this video, you're literally going to be able to copy and paste these strategies into your account and you'll be printing from your Klaviyo from day one. Before we dive deep into the actual builds of the emails, we need to understand what flows actually are. Flows are an automated sequence of emails that are triggered by a behavior. For example, if you opt in, you're going to receive a welcome email that is triggered by you opting into the email marketing. This is going to welcome you into the brand, drive the first purchase, and deliver the incentive. Another behavior that will trigger a flow would be an abandoned cart flow. If you abandon your cart, you'll receive a sequence of emails that are triggered by that behavior, and the goal of that will be to recover your purchase and get you to buy. The good thing about flows is that they work 24/7 automatically for you around the clock, literally converting purchases for you without you lifting a finger. And if you contrast that to campaigns, which are one-off sends that you have to build manually, you can think of flows like an automated salesperson for you. The reason why this is so important is that if you have poor flows, you are literally wasting conversions and you're damaging the effectiveness of all of your other marketing strategies. And again, these are the flows, these are the strategies that have helped us achieve in the first 30 days, $104,000 in automated revenue. Without these flows in place, that's $100,000 in 30 days that this brand would never have seen. All right, so let's jump into it, starting with the welcome flow. This is the level of detail that we put into all of our flow strategies before we even get to copy and get to design. This is the level of thought you need to be putting into your flow strategies as well. So diving into the welcome flow, obviously you have the trigger. The goal of the actual welcome flow is to build trust and confidence and then drive the first or next purchase. As soon as they opt into your pop-up, you don't want to delay it by 30 seconds, by 3 minutes. You want to deliver this email instantly. This person is opting in for something, they're expecting something. And if you delay it, you're just going to break trust with the person. So email one, deliver the incentive. And the goal here is literally just to drive the purchase. Something that people get wrong here is talking too much about the brand, too much about your story. In this point, the buyer is thinking, I'm wanting to buy. They don't care about your brand. And so it's important that we deliver on the incentive straight away. So getting into the key talking points of your welcome email, the code must be the first thing that they see. You must keep your copy minimal. These people didn't sign up to read. They sign up to get the code and go shopping. You must include obviously all of your best-selling products below the code so they have somewhere to go immediately. It's very important to have buttons in each of the product categories or products. And you can add a short one-line brand intro, just enough to orientate them, save the full story of your brand for later. You want to put in the things that would help with conversions and nothing else really. So that could be, if you're a clothing company, your organic cotton, it could be your formulation, your certifications. You can have logos here, but nothing crazy. The psychology behind this is that this is their peak intent moment. The discount is the promise that you made on your pop-up. You need to deliver immediately or you're going to break the trust before the relationship even starts with your brand. So speed and clarity are everything in this stage of the flow. I actually have a free PDF that goes through the anatomy of your welcome email. It breaks down every single segment that you need in the email, what to include, what not to include. You can download it for free if you just click one of the links in the description. 24 hours later, you're going to send an email and you'll notice that the cadence between each emails in the welcome flow is 24 hours. They want to receive 5 emails in the first 5 days. Email 2 is all about brand story and connection. The goal here is to educate and then build the brand differentiation with a human touch. People want to understand why they should buy from you as opposed to someone else. Anyone can make a t-shirt. Why is your t-shirt and your company the one that I should spend my hard-earned dollars on? So the key talking points here is going to be your origin story. Why did you start it? What problem were you personally trying to solve? Vulnerability here is such a strength. People are buying from Tim Cook, not Apple. People are buying from Alex Hormozi and not acquisition.com. These are the important things behind brands these days. It's the founder story. You obviously want to weave the discount code in naturally. Don't make it the focus of this email, but obviously remind them that it's there and when it expires. A good approach to email 2 is a text-only email from the founder again. No images, no logo header, not a text template. Literally should look like they got it sent by a mate. And you want to keep this email extremely simple and concise. Again, the psychology behind this is that people aren't buying products, they're buying into people and they're buying into stories. And at this point, they've seen your discount and they haven't bought yet, which means price probably isn't the issue. And they're just not sure if they trust you yet. A founder speaking directly to them in plain text like a real human will build more trust in 200 words than any other designed email ever could. They need to understand that there's a real person, a real mission behind your products. 24 hours later, we're getting into email 3. And the goal of this email now, they've heard the brand story, they've got the discount. We want to tackle distrust with social proof. Load this email with UGC, star ratings, written reviews. The more you can have, the better. And let other customers do the selling for you. Pick the reviews that speak to specific objections for you. For example, if you have a sleep supplement, don't just be like, these taste amazing. I mean, you should include that, but have benefit-led reviews in this email. Understand, yes, it made me fall asleep well. I didn't wake up groggy. All of these things, the main hesitations that people have, this is when you put here. So if by day 2 they haven't bought from you, the objection almost certainly isn't the price. They had the discount, it's likely trust, okay? And this email is gonna be what handles that, pre-handles those objections for you. 24 hours later, we're gonna do another objection handler. We're gonna tear down the last remaining reasons they haven't bought yet. And this one is more of like from us, okay? They've heard it from the people, now they need to hear it from the brand. So we're gonna list the top 3 to 5 objections that customers may have and address them head on. A us versus them email works really well here. A myth versus fact format works extremely well here as well. State the misconception people have around your product and then handle it exactly in that moment. Someone who opened 3 of your emails but still hasn't bought must be interested and they have a specific unresolved doubt. This is a good place to handle that. And then 24 hours later, we're jumping now into urgency. So we want to create genuine urgency, convert everyone that's been on the fence or he's busy, just hasn't had a chance to buy. By now, they've seen the discount, so the price isn't the issue. They hear and understand the mission of the brand. They've seen that many other people and your 5-star reviews can be trusted. Then all of the final misconceptions around your product have been handled and tackled. By this point, a little urgency might be all they need. So people are mostly motivated by fear and loss aversion, and having this email here is what's going to trigger those people to not miss out on the discount. This exact welcome strategy, again, in 48 days here, generated $132,000 for our client. If you apply this to your brand, no doubt you'll be making more money than you are now. The next most important flow, and I think one that is severely underrated for brands, is the post-purchase flow. This email, if done right, can really help with lifetime value and average order value, which in terms of retention marketing is like the creme de la creme. So the goal of the post-purchase is to build relationship and trust and obviously reduce buyer's remorse. But the secondary goal here is to drive future purchases. If their experience after buying from you is poor, they're going to associate you with that poor experience. And that's obviously not what you want. So straight away, as soon as they purchase from you, you want to send a thank you email. Don't delay this by 5 minutes, 30 minutes or whatever. Send it straight away. The goal here is to make them feel great about the purchase and reduce buyer's remorse. Key talking points to include in your first post-purchase email. It needs to be warm, genuine, and short. This is not the place for upsells or product education. This is just a sincere thanks from the brand, and you're going to tell them what to expect, when it will ship, how they'll be notified, what the delivery window looks like. Uncertainty is what breeds buyer's remorse, and you want to handle all of that here. 2 days later, in day 3, we want to help our customers get the most out of their product and have the best experience with it. So we're going to send an email. This one will likely deliver a few days before they receive their product, so it's going to drive excitement as well. The goal here, increase perceived value and give them the best product experience. Education in this email is key. How do they get the best results? What should they do first? What mistakes should they avoid? Tailor this completely to your product type. A skincare brand should explain routine. A supplement brand explains dosing. A fashion brand shares outfit ideas and care instructions so people don't ruin their products. This email alone is going to reduce your returns and your negative reviews by setting realistic, accurate expectations before the product even arrives. And it's important to keep the tone excited and helpful. They're about to receive something and they're excited for their product to arrive, so match that energy, okay? A customer who knows how to use your product properly is much more likely to get results, leave a positive review, and buy again. This email isn't really about the product. It's about setting the customer up to succeed and building anticipation for your product. The next email you send should be a couple days after the delivery of the product. This timing, I don't have an exact date here for you because it's relevant to your product type. They need to be able to experience the product in a positive way in that time frame so that when you ask for a review, it's not too soon that they're like, I haven't even tried it. And it's not too late that the excitement has been dwindling. So the goal here, obviously, capture social proof. The key talking points, ask how it's going, keep it conversational. They've had your product for a while now. Frame the review as supporting other buyers. People like to feel like they're supporting the community and doing a good thing. Don't be pushy or weird, and use dynamic review links to link them directly to their product so it's as easy as possible. 4 days after that, Now they've had the product, they've had a positive experience, things are all going well. This is the point to cross-sell. If you were to ask for a purchase sooner than this, I think it would break trust, and I've just seen it happen too many times. We like to do it after the review generation, after they've had the product for a while, and this is when we then ask for another purchase. The key talking points of this email and the way that you make sure you don't do this wrong is you need to show products that genuinely complement what they've bought. You don't want to show your whole catalog. You want to show 2 or 3 specific and relevant suggestions. For example, if you bought a car from a car dealership and then in 2 weeks, they're asking you to buy another car, that doesn't really make sense. You don't want to suggest another hero product. But if that car brand came to you and said, hey, do you need servicing? Do you need new tires? Do you need a car wash subscription? Do you need new car seats? These are products that complement your experience with the car. And these are the things that you need to cross-sell. This cross-selling strategy allowed us to build a post-purchase flow that almost outperformed this client's welcome flow in a 30-day period. This is relatively unheard of. The revenue per recipient is actually higher than the welcome flow. The next set of flows that we're going to talk about all in conjunction is the abandoned sequence flows. These are flows that are going to help with your conversions as people are abandoning your site, and we're going to pull them back and drive the purchase. What's really important to understand here is that these 3 flows cannot just be simple reminders. No one wants to receive a simple reminder 3 times in their inbox about their car. There's a reason why they abandoned, and when you need to address those things specifically in that moment, that's going to be how you actually drive revenue with these flows. The next important thing to understand is that each flow here is a different stage in the buyer's journey. The abandoned browse flow is the lowest intent. The abandoned checkout is the highest intent. These 2 people shouldn't receive the same language. They shouldn't receive the same message because they are abandoning for 2 completely different reasons. So we're going to dive deep into that now. So the abandoned browse, we're going to send 4 hours after they abandon your site. And we're just going to send a relevance reminder. Bring them back to the site while intent is still warm. Understand that this person's just browsing, so you can reference the product they viewed, have a quick benefit-led headline, a couple authority bullets about the brand, reasons why they can trust you, and then a light call to action. If you want to be hard and pushy in the abandoned browse, it just doesn't work. It breaks trust. 8 hours later, we're going to introduce the range to them. So understand that this person maybe viewed a product and it wasn't for them, but it doesn't mean that the other products you have in your catalog aren't for them. So we're going to broaden the perception, capture alternative interest, and get them back on the site to browse, okay? The goal here is to get the click, get them back on the site so they can add something else to their cart, and then they can enter a higher intent flow. The second highest intent flow is the abandoned cart flow. The goal here, obviously, recover lost revenue without cheapening your brand. That's very key. 2 hours, obviously this is sooner than the 4 hours here, and that is intentional. It's because this person has a high level of intent. We're going to try and capture that while it's still hot. We're going to send them a simple reminder for the email 1. Talking products is going to be that the product's left in their cart with a simple call to action and a calm tone, okay? Again, you can include the benefit-led headlines and the authority key bullets here. I think that is valuable. Number 2 is then to address the hesitation that this person has. Common objections in the abandoned cart can be total order value. So maybe you have a discount code you can have later on, but we want to then lead obviously with the benefits, the certifications and authority of your brand, the social proof behind you and why they can trust you. And you need to reinforce why this isn't just a generic product, okay? A lot of people just add things to their cart to see how much it's gonna be, but they're not really bought into the product and the brand. This is where you can push. Email 3 now is to push the fence sitters. Create a soft sense of urgency without pressure. One can be, hey, we can't hold on to your cart any longer. We can talk about the cost of inaction if it's a supplement or a benefit-led product like supplements. The goal here is obviously to get them to the checkout stage. Once they're in the checkout stage, the goal now is to close the distracted buyers quickly. And we're going to do that by having a 30-minute send cadence after they've abandoned their checkout, and just tell them that they're almost here. Acknowledge why they were close to completing their order, reassure them that their items are still waiting, reinforce that obviously you have secure checkout, your payments are secure, shipping, returns, all of the reasons why people would then abandon, the uncertainties that they may have. And then in email 2, 24 hours later, we're gonna do the same thing again, but we're gonna push a little bit harder here. We're gonna say that we can't hold their order any longer. We're gonna address the hesitations that they have, shipping, returns, social proof reviews, trust. And I don't really like putting codes into my flows, but you can have an optional incentive here, like a free shipping threshold or a extra 5 or 10% off, just to get them over the line and into your ecosystem. These 3 flows here, alongside the welcome flow, are gonna be the biggest levers in terms of increasing the conversions of traffic landing on your site. If you do these right, it will really work. If you do these wrongs, it's just gonna hurt your brand. The final flow that every brand needs is a win-back/sunset flow. And the goal here is to re-engage any lapsed customers and restart their relationship with your brand. So 90 days post their last purchase, this sequence can change depending on your typical buying cadence. But email 1 is just a reintroduction. How is things going, right? Re-enter their world without being weird about it and remind them that your brand exists and show them what's new. So it's important that that you acknowledge the gap directly. I think that works. You can lead with what's new in the brand, give them another reason to be interested again in your brand that wasn't there when they last bought, and show popular products, things that people are buying right now, because social momentum is subtle but powerful and can get them back into the ecosystem. Again, you wanna make sure you're not sounding desperate. That is something that a lot of brands get wrong. You're not chasing them, you're just popping back up in their life. A lapsed customer isn't a lost customer, it's important to remember. These people have bought from you, you've won their attention once before. Whatever the reason is, they haven't written you off yet, and this email isn't about converting them straight away. It's about getting them back into their consideration mindset and putting you back into the forefront of their mind. 7 days later, you can send them a win-back offer. So now it's been almost 100 days since they last bought from you. You can give them a compelling, exclusive reason to come back now rather than later. And you want to test what offer works best for your brand in this stage, whether it's a percentage off, a dollar amount off, a free gift with purchase, free shipping. There is no universal answer here, but it's important to run the test and see what works best. Frame this offer as an exclusive and personal offer. We made this for you specifically, lands a lot better than just a generic discount. And you wanna show the products that you most want them to buy in this stage alongside the offer, okay? The discount is the hook, the product is gonna be the close. Why this is pretty much the only stage that we use a code in our flows is because without an offer, asking someone to come back is just a request, a plead. And so with the right offer, it becomes a good opportunity that they'd feel silly passing up. And the psychology here is reactivation. We're not trying to convince them to like our brand again. You're just trying to lower the barrier to action just enough that they take the step and rejoin. Once they buy again, they're back in the flywheel, but be careful not to tarnish your perceived value. Bargain hunters will always buy when there's a bargain. We don't want to flood our ecosystem with those people. 2 days after that, we're gonna send a text-based final attempt before sunsetting them off our list. So this is gonna be 6 lines at a max, reference the offer specifically, and then invite them to reply if they have any questions or if something put them off last time, so that we can handle that personally and have that human touch to your flows. You might actually even learn something useful from this, something that you didn't know about, and it allows us to fix it before other customers are getting the same problems. Then, if after all of these, no one has opened, no one has clicked, we're gonna sunset them off the list. We don't want them to be receiving our emails, damaging our deliverability, so we're going to actually unsubscribe them ourselves. If you go ahead and build all of these emails into your Klaviyo, there's no doubt in my mind that you will be making more money from your email than you ever have before. I'm gonna actually jump in and show you how to actually build out these flows in Klaviyo itself. So once you go into flows and you click build new flow in the top right, you're gonna come to this stage. Here we can click build your own. We're gonna name it welcome flow. And we're gonna create manually. For your welcome flow, you want it to trigger whenever someone is added to your welcome list. So you're gonna click add to list and you're gonna select your main email list that your pop-up is tied to. We're gonna click save and confirm. Then the next thing to do is obviously to build out your email. Click plus on the email. Then we wanna add in those 24-hour delays. We wanna do this for all of the emails that you have. Once you've done that for all 5 of your emails, then it comes into building the emails. And one thing that people get wrong is they have this set. This skip recently emailed profiles. Smart sending will skip anyone who has received an email within the last 16 hours from you. Your flows, you do not want certain emails to be missed out from that. So it's important to uncheck that for every single email that you send across all 5 of your core flows so that no one is missing out on key information. Once you click save, it will automatically update. In the subject line, this is where you're going to put in, you can say welcome to brand name and then offer inside. So here you would put obviously like your 10% off offer inside, and then you will build out your emails. So that is the updated 2026 Klaviyo Flow tutorial. If you apply this to your brand, there's no doubt that you'll be making more money than you ever have from your Klaviyo account. If you want us to do this for you, you can use the link below to book a call with me specifically. We can chat through your Klaviyo account. I can tell you how we can help.